Hey guys, so as you can see, I have my 3-foot dowel attached to my clothing rack, and I've attached all of my 10-foot cords with the lark's head knot, okay, right onto there. And for the first row of knots, we are going to do the horizontal clove hitch knot. And so I am not going to be using one of these because I want these to stay exactly even. So I'm going to be adding a filler cord. And how I'm going to do this, because there's only one of me and no one to help me hold the cord, is I've tied it over here, this one. So this is just the same 5-foot cord or 5mm cord as I'm using right here. So I've tied it up here, and I actually taped the back just to hold it into place, and I'm going to do the same on the other side. Okay, and this one's about 6 feet long. It's just some rope that I had left over, so when I come back you'll see it straight across that area. Okay, so now that my guide rope is attached on both sides and secured into place, this will be the guide the entire time, and then these are the ones we're going to do the knots with for the horizontal clove hitch knot. So we're just going to take the end of the cord, we're going to put it over that guide, and we're going to pull it down so you can see that it should look like that through the loop. And for each of our working cord, we're going to do that 2 times. And for the first one, it can be a little tricky so that you get it nice and snug up there. So I'm going to hold that into place. I'm just going to put that over, pull it through the loop, and now I am going to secure that nice and tight. Okay, now I'm going to move on. So I'm going to go over this one. I'm going to pull it down and through and pull it nice and snug up into place. And then one more time to complete that knot. Okay, so that's what it should look like. Now I'm just going to continue on with that pattern the entire way across the top. Okay, so you guys can see I did that straight line the entire way across, and just for now, I'm just going to leave that tied up for now. We are going to cut it and secure it into place after, but we're not going to worry about that right now. And so now the next step, we're just going to take 4 cords, and we are going to do square knots. So we're going to take the left-hand cord, make a figure 4 over the center too, take the right-hand cord, and we're going to go over top of that one, behind, through the loop, pull, and we're going to do the same from the opposite direction. So backwards 4, over, behind, through that loop. And we're just going to do this the entire way across, and we're going to bring them down into alternating square knots for a few rows. Okay, so as you can see, I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows of square knots. And now I'm going to make the sort of wave pattern at the bottom, and I'm going to do that using the same method, so the alternating square knots. And I'm going to first start by this little section here. I'm going to bring it up, and this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do 4 square knots, 4 square knots, 3 square knots, 3 square knots, 2 and 2. Okay, so you guys can see I have done that part, and now we're going to start the second downward turn. And I've already marked off where we're going to start the next one. So this is where this one ends, and then we're going to skip 1, 2, and on that third one, we're going to start making the next row. And this is how it's going to go. 7, straight across, 6, 5, 4, 3. Okay, so I'll start that. And then I'll show you when it's done. Okay, so I actually, once I looked at it, I decided to add 2 there. So I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. Okay, so we've got this nice curve. And next we're going to start right over there. Okay, so coming right from that last little swoop down that we made, I'm going to have this side come down. So I'm going to do alternating square knots all the way over, and I'm going to start right here and with these ones, okay? So the very next 2. Okay, so you can see I did 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, and 1 just to finish it off. So on that side, we'll get that nice sharp line coming down. So now that I'm looking at it, just taking a step back, I've actually decided that I kind of want to even this end right here out. So I'm going to make one more square knot right here for this side. Okay, so now I have done exactly what I did for the first one. So I just have another one of these. It's about, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet long. It's just going to be our filler cord. So I've tied it to this side, but this time we're not going to tie it to the other side because we're not doing a straight line. We're going to do horizontal clove hitch knots, guiding that wave that we just made. Okay, so I've pulled the camera up nice and tight just so you can see. This part, I want it to come straight, and then, actually, you know what? No, yeah, I do. I want it to come straight across and then up that way, okay? Okay, you guys, so you can see I've done that first row of the wave, and let me tell you, it is tedious. I've done this quite a few times, so I, got it in one shot, but don't be surprised if you have to literally untie it and retie it again. The only way you're going to get this is through practice. So now I just want to show you, see, we still have quite a bit of rope left. So I'm going to do a second row just so it's thicker and a little bit more dramatic at this bottom part, because up there is so simple. So I've already attached, just like the last time, this cord onto that pole, and I'm just going to guide it. This one should be easier, and you want to pull it very tight so that it's snug up against that row of the hitch knots, I should say. Okay, so I'm going to do that, and again, this is just optional. You can stop where you are if you choose to do, and make sure you don't tie in this filler cord, so just leave that right out of the way. Okay, so as you can see, I've done the second row of the hitch knot, and I am very, very happy with the way it looks. Anyhow, so the next thing is, well, we're gonna have to do these, but I think I want to trim it first. So this right here, I've already found it. That is my shortest rope. So I am going to trim all of these to that length, going with the flow of the wave. This is the first trim. So any of the cords that are taped up above this level, I'm gonna have to take the tape off first, and then I will trim it all up and show you guys when I'm done. Okay, so I've trimmed it all up. Now I'm just going to untwist them, and I'm going to use, this pet brush to comb it all out once I've untwisted it, okay? This part is not fun. Okay, so you guys can see I've done the first run through with the pet brush, and a little tip is to get a comb so you can get right up into the very top of the knot, and then just comb those out as well. Okay, this does take a little while, but it's worth it to get such a nice fringe. So now I'm going to flip it over, I'm going to brush it from the back, and then I'm going to show you how to secure all of those extra parts that are coming out. Okay, so I have flipped the wall hanging around. I've combed out the fringe once more time from behind, which is really important. And now I'm just going to show you how I kind of fasten and tighten these and secure them. So I'm going to cut it to about here. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use glue. You can use E600 glue, fabric glue, or a glue gun. I'm going to secure that actual knot in there, and then I'm going to glue this part just for extra security right along that line.